brings you AI-driven fan journeys, mapping every step from first listen to lifetime fan.
Okay, let's just dive right in. And let's start with a reality that, most independent artists are facing every single day.
You know the story, right? It's that fan who discovers your song, they absolutely love it, and then nothing. The trail just goes completely cold. It's a misconnection in a digital system that, let's be honest, just wasn't built for you. You get the listen, sure, but you don't get the relationship.
So we're going to explore how to fix this. And it really means shifting away from that old, kind of broken model. The old way was like a sales funnel for, toothpaste. You just push more traffic into the top and hope a few coins fall out the bottom. The new way? It's a journey. It's a conversation that actually remembers who the fan is and what they care about. Yeah, it's really time to stop thinking like a salesperson and start building real relationships with your listeners. And you can use AI for this, not as some gimmick, but as what makingascene.org calls hospitality with memory. It's brilliant. And this whole journey, it really breaks down into 5 clear stages.
So let's start at the beginning. Stage 1, discovery. This is all about catching that first little signal of interest before whatever platform you're on just eats it and moves on.
This first stage is where so many artists get distracted. We see a viral reel or we get a big playlist ad and we think, yes, I've made it. But here's the thing. Those aren't the win. They're just the introduction. That's it. It's the first handshake.
So the whole game here is to move a fan from that anonymous, passive attention to what we could call identifiable intent. And you do this with some pretty simple but really smart tools. So instead of just a messy list of links in your bio, you use a smart link that can maybe capture an email. Or you set up a DM automation that lets a fan literally raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested.
A perfect example of this in action is using a tool like ManyChat. Just imagine, a fan comments tabs on your Instagram video. A second later, an automated DM hits their inbox with the chord chart. Boom! Just like that, you've identified a guitar player and the journey has officially begun. And that leads us right into stage 2, engagement. This is where you take that little spark of curiosity and turn it into a real connection.
Okay, so a fan has raised their hand. The absolute biggest mistake you can make right now is one of 2 things, either going totally silent or immediately jumping in their DMs asking them to buy your new hoodie. The goal here isn't to sell, it's simple. Earn the right to ask for something later on.
This is your chance to prove there's a real world, a real person behind that one song they heard. You deliver content that actually matches why they showed up. So if they love that acoustic clip, why not send them a link to a private unlisted performance? If they ask for the lyrics, send them the story behind the song. You're just deepening the context. And once you've earned that trust, right? Once you've provided some real value, you can finally make an ask that feels totally natural, not pushy or forced. And that brings us to stage 3, conversion. Now this is all about asking for the right yes, not necessarily the biggest one you can think of.
Yeah, I know. The word conversion has been kind of ruined by aggressive marketing. But for an artist, it's actually a really beautiful thing. It's simply that moment. The moment a fan decides to cross the line from just being passively interested to actively investing their time or their energy or their money into your world.
The real key here is figuring out the next believable ask for that specific fan. And this is where you can use some simple offer logic. Your system, your tools, they just notice behavior. So if someone keeps watching your live clips, what's the next logical offer? A ticket to a show, right? If they're geeking out on your studio gear page, hey, maybe they'd be into a production workshop you're hosting.
And this is exactly where automations, maybe in a tool like Shopify, become your absolute best friend, sending the right offer at exactly the right time. Now, once they've said yes, we enter a really crucial phase. Stage 4, loyalty. This is all about rewarding that behavior before the connection goes cold.
Just think about it for a second. A fan buys a ticket or a record and then crickets. So many artists just let that relationship go right back to zero. But loyalty, this is where a truly sustainable career is built, and it's all about recognizing and rewarding that repeat behavior.
And you can use some really smart, simple tools to create what's basically a time-stamped badge of participation. Imagine this. A fan scans a QR code at your show and gets a digital proof of attendance badge, or POAP. Your system automatically follows up with a thank you note and photos. Now, for your next show, you don't have to guess who is in the room. You know.
All right, now let's talk about the final, and honestly the most powerful stage of this entire journey. Stage 5, ownership. This is where you turn fans into actual members of an ecosystem that you control.
Look, a reachable fan is great, don't get me wrong.
But a fan whose history, their purchases, their show attendance, their rewards, all live inside a system you own is infinitely better. Think of it as a fan passport, a complete record that isn't dependent on some social media platform's algorithm.
By using accessible Web3 tools, you can build what's called an artist-owned architecture. Now, this is not about some crypto bro gimmick. It's about owning the relationship with your fans directly, period.
Now, I know this might sound super complex, but as you can see, the tools to build this are way more accessible than you think. Whether you're a solo artist cobbling things together or a bigger DIY operation, the right tech stack exists right now to make this journey a reality.
And the beautiful thing is, your entire system doesn't need to be this overwhelmingly complicated beast. Ultimately, it only needs to know these 5 key things about your fan.
It needs to know where a fan came from, what they responded to, their location, what they've already done, and what the most sensible next ask is. Because, as makingascene.org puts it, the first listen is not the business. The lifetime fan is.
So remember, AI isn't the star here, it's the tool. It's the backstage coordinator that helps you remember what your fans tell you so that you can do the human part better and build something more than just a vending machine.
Make sure you check out the other great articles and resources on makingascene.org, the place the indie artist goes to build the new music industry.